Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. On October 5th, 2025, Dee from Dee's Dark Adventures set out to film another night in the woods. Her channel documents real encounters in abandoned and haunted locations, where isolation and darkness often blur the line between curiosity and danger. That night, she and Bear ventured deep into the forest toward an old livestock pen. The air was still, heavy, and cold, the kind of silence that feels unnatural. Moments later, the recording shook violently. Something had gone wrong before the story even began.
But those woods look closer than they are. What?
Did you hear that?
Listen.
Holy smokes, look.
Dude, turn.
I just heard something come from the barn, too, but that was 2 huge blacks.
I wonder if it was answering the one back there.
Did you hear that?
That wasn't a gun, was it? Well, that one knocked.
It was like some little...
Dude, careful, you're gonna break your damn leg. I'm wondering if it answered the knock from that one over there.
Yeah, I just heard something like walking right behind me.
Dude, this place is crazy, I'm telling you. Screams, everything.
Hours earlier, Dee and Bear set up their gear beside the collapsed livestock pen, a place long abandoned. Moss-covered beams, rusted nails, and silence thick in the air. They had barely started recording when a series of knocks echoed from the woods. It wasn't the wind. The night was perfectly.
I told you, when something landed on that barn and took off or something, like a huge rock or something big, it had to be 80 plus pounds that landed on that.
80 pounds?
On the barn, and it didn't break, it didn't bend, it didn't nothing. It was just so heavy, it had to be something huge, and I'm just 80 pounds at least. If it was any bigger, it would have crushed it. All right.
Is that an eyeball?
Yeah.
Is that a huge eyeball?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, my bad. I don't see it. We need to find a spot and sit and be quiet and watch.
Put down some cat balls.
So far, we're the ones walking and they're doing stuff. I think that we walked into them knocking, but they would usually stop.
I wasn't happy with my knock. That old post.
What was that?
How would you call a dog?
How?
Everybody says you don't want to. Yeah.
No, you don't.
How would you tell them a dog? Whoa.
Stop.
Hey, a minute ago there was something bigger.
Hold on, dude. Did you hear that?
That's something different.
Alright.
Yeah, last thing I've been listening over here.
Whoop. I'm trying, man. That wasn't real. That wasn't a real goose.
It sounded crazy.
That sounded weird.
Is there water around?
There's a river, but it's way that way, like a 30, 40, maybe an hour walk. Now the owl's over there.
That is so crazy, man. It's like the owl's going with it too. The first thing was back right behind you.
I know. That's what they do, man.
That was 2 totally different signs.
Moments later came another sound, like ducks or geese calling nearby, though there was no water anywhere close. 2 sharp knocks struck the pen walls, and Dee's camera caught a faint yellow glimmer deep in the trees, eyes reflecting from the dark. As they moved farther in, the trail vanished beneath branches and fog. A loud crack stopped them in their tracks. Dee's flashlight flickered. Then came the crash. Something heavy, at least 80 pounds, hit the roof above without leaving a mark.
My light is not dead. Oh my God! My lights are getting killed. Yeah, it's the second one. I've only got one left. Dang. All right. Dude, the light, get off. I'm stuck on these stupid bushes. I'm gonna come out a little bit more. Well, I can't see. The closer I get to these, I can't see over, and I keep hearing things. So I'm trying to be as far back as I can. Wow! All right, my whistle's scared. Listen.
Ow, son of a... What the heck just happened? What happened? Hey, what just happened? Huh? Holy smokes, man, you're freaking way back here. Come on. Hey, we gotta get, how do we even get out of here? That drove you back? That was through a whole freaking field.
Oh, my back is fucked.
There's a path. It just yanked you right through all that.
Where's my camera?
I don't know.
Oh my god, here. It's still going. Oh my god. It just drugged me.
I gotta get my camera.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, we gotta go.
I have no idea. Get your bag.
I'm trying. Go get your stuff. I got mine. Go.
I got your one bag. Come on.
It was thorns.
Let me see.
I don't want to let right now.
Come on.
We'll get to the truck. Go. Oh my god, my back is bleeding. I can feel it. It wouldn't let go until I said Jesus. As soon as I said Jesus, it let go. Hold on, I want to go. Are you okay?
Sorry.
Oh my god, dude, my bag. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, let's go this way. I don't know.
The forest fell silent until a deep growl rolled through the trees. The smell that followed was sharp and rotten. Dee described feeling watched, the air colder on one side of the trail than the other. In a clearing, they found flattened leaves, as if something large had been lying there. Then came running steps, branches snapping, and a howl that circled them from every direction. Dee's camera caught the eyes again, closer this time. Her light flickered once more, and a red glow flashed above Bear, 6 feet off the ground. Then came movement, fast, violent. She was pulled backward, the camera crashing into the dirt. The footage turned chaotic. Muffled shouts, rustling, struggle. Dee cried out in pain. Then, through shaking breaths, she uttered one word. Everything stopped. Moments later, her voice returned, trembling, gasping, as they fled the forest, leaving everything behind. The video ended in silence. Viewers later noticed a dark figure ducking behind a tree, the faint sound of footsteps just before the attack. One viewer wrote, "When you yelled Jesus, I had goosebumps. It proves these things are not animals." Another warned, "Don't go looking for monsters unless you're ready to find one." No one could explain why the noises stopped the instant she spoke that word. Dee later confirmed she suffered minor injuries, but never released the full uncut footage. Since that night, she hasn't said whether she plans to return to that forest again. And as one comment read, "When you peer into the darkness, it peers back." Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. On September 27, 2025, a new upload appeared on High Gear, a channel known for unfiltered off-road rides, crashes, and encounters caught entirely on helmet cameras. That day, the rider set out into the Italian countryside for what seemed like a normal dirt adventure. The sky was gray, the wind restless, and the path ahead slick from early rain. What started as another test of skill would soon become a battle against the elements, and endurance itself. The video opened with rough terrain, uneven hills, mud trails, and hidden rocks waiting beneath tall grass. Within minutes, the rider's tires began to slip, losing grip on the wet ground. As the sky darkened, the rain intensified. Visibility dropped, the lens covered in droplets. The rider cursed the tires, complaining they couldn't hold traction on wet grass. Still, he pushed forward, laughing under his breath, determined to keep moving.
Hey, Vladimir found great right here. Oh, be careful because these tires are not so good on the grass, you know. Good shit. We came to the more fucked up road than this one. I like it.
Okay, this is a road, man. We need to get somewhere on this shit, but we gotta keep it slow because look at these rocks, and the suspension of this bike is so trash. It's unbelievable. Big ass motherfucker. Nice. Yeah, we get in it. I hope we don't end up in the river stream, man. Oh my god, look at it where we are.
Following the GPS, he tried to find a safer path through the woods. The route twisted into narrow passages lined with stone and mud. The uphill climb was brutal. The engine roared, wheels spinning helplessly.
I gotta say,
Vladimir didn't know that this bike has a ventilator too.
so it was raining here. If you didn't realize that till now. The ground is a little bit wet, but it's still rideable. Very nice.
Oh my god. It must be somewhere here. Here is the linear. So my friends, with the help of the GoPro, I found these bitches and they're still gonna work, but I don't know how I'm gonna put them on the bike. I have some tools in the seat, don't have a clue which ones. First of all, I got to turn around the bike and put it on the main stand. In middle of Nebraska, nigga lost his fucking motocross bike parts, man. Holy fuck, man. So as I said, the bike shuts down if the stand is put down and you put in first gear. That's some safety bullshit, you know? So now I need something bigger than this shit, man. Okay, this is fucked already. Fucking hell. Guys, you know. Oh, I did that like nothing. This fender is fucked. I mean spring. It's twisted. Probably because of the natural design, which is shit. Okay, whatever. We can continue. Holy motherfucker, man. Yes, good that I have the main stander too, man. I would have complications without it. I fixed that bitch, but what happened now is shit started raining, bro. Fucking god, man, it's fucking with me. That's some real enduro bullshit. Oh bro, I feel the rain much more than earlier. Fuck off. Oh man, look at the rain. It started just now, man.
When he finally reached the top, his voice broke through the wind. Relief mixed with exhaustion. The narrow forest road forced him to slow down. The suspension creaked over loose stones. He mentioned the smell of mushrooms in the damp air and how the uneven ground made it hard to stay on course. By the 11-minute mark, something came loose. The headlight had fallen off. He stopped, lifted the seat, and began looking for tools. After a few failed attempts to fix it, he decided to move on. Following the dirt trail, he finally reached an open area, and there, standing alone on the hillside, was an abandoned house. He laughed quietly, half joking about moving in. Inside, the walls were stripped bare. The only thing left was a rusted bed frame. For a moment, he stood silent, looking around. Then, without a word, he stepped back outside, mounted the bike, and rode into the storm once more. When the video went live, the comment section filled quickly. Others focused on the weather. Love the terrain, so nice trails. But others noticed something different. The silence that hung over the footage. It wasn't about the challenge of the trail anymore. It was the feeling of being too far from everything else. The rider never said where that house was, nor if he ever returned. One viewer summed it up in a single line. No monsters, no ghosts, just a man and his machine against the world. On July 11, 2025, a new video appeared on the channel Sydney State of Mind. Sydney, a solo traveler who lives and films out of her SUV, had set out once again. This time, she crosses the misty coastline of Oregon and into Washington state. Her channel usually documents her quiet life on the road, camping alone, cooking in her car, and exploring forgotten corners of the Pacific Northwest. But this trip would be different. It began with scenic beaches and ended with a night she would describe as one of the worst she'd ever experienced. The video opened with Sydney driving through the Oregon coast, planning to visit the state's most iconic landmarks, Cannon Beach, Ecola State Park, and several historical sites tied to the Goonies film. At Cannon Beach, she stopped to admire Haystack Rock, the famous sea stack rising from the gray water. At a nearby viewpoint, she encountered a stranger whose behavior felt off.
Somebody back there is being kind of sketchy and approached somebody else at the scenic stop. And also when I got out of my car, he walked over here. In lieu of sketchy people being here, I just flew my drone, and the drone shots were so pretty. It's time to move on.
The camera shook slightly as she laughed it off, deciding instead to keep her distance and send up her drone for a few quick shots before leaving. The next clips showed the coastline from above, cold, quiet, and empty. She then traveled north to Ecola State Park, where the scenes from the Goonies were filmed. Soon after, she found herself walking along a beach scattered with driftwood and a single grave marker dated 1865. Its inscription read, "Known only to God." Further down the coast, Sydney reached the wreck of the Peter Iredale, a ship that ran aground in 1906 during a storm. The corroded ribs of the hull still jutted from the sand, surrounded by gray surf. She explained that the wreck had once been nearly intact but had slowly vanished over the years. From there, she visited Fort Stevens, the only military installation on the U.S. mainland ever attacked during World War II, and Fort Clatsop, the winter shelter of Lewis and Clark. Between sights, she spotted a coyote wandering near the road. Its appearance in daylight made her uneasy, and later, a herd of elk grazing silently in the field. Crossing the bridge into Washington, the tone of the video shifted. Her campsite for the night was filthy, trash everywhere, wet ground, a sense of neglect. While flying her drone, it malfunctioned and hit both her and the side of her car. She laughed nervously, brushing it off, but the camera caught her eyes scanning the dark woods around her. Hours later, she said she couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right.
It's nearly 2 in the morning and I don't feel safe here anymore. Something just kept telling me to leave that site. My gut just kept telling me to leave because I thought that I would be trapped here if I waited until the morning, trapped with a downed tree or something, because it's raining and it's been raining all night, and there was a giant hill with leaning trees next to my site, so I just didn't feel good about it. So yeah, I'm leaving. I kept trying to fight my gut, but it just kept telling me to leave. I could just park there. That's like a good spot.
Around 2 a.m., rain began to fall, and her instincts told her to leave before the road washed out. The next morning, she woke up miles away, exhausted, the sky still gray as she ended her trip near Seattle. Viewers later praised her intuition. Others warned, coyotes out in daylight can be dangerous. Some mentioned Fort Stevens' haunted reputation. Maybe it wasn't danger she escaped that night, but the uneasy silence that follows when the wild no longer feels empty. She ended her video smiling quietly on the bridge in Seattle. Out there, safety isn't always about what you see. Sometimes, it's about what you feel before anything happens. The video, uploaded on the channel Kev's Outdoor Adventures, opens with Kev and his loyal dog, Chow, setting out for a wild camp on Hunter's Hill in Cumbria, England. The area is steeped in eerie folklore, especially its connection to the Old Corpse Road, a route once used to carry the dead over the hills for burial.
Today we're at Mardale in Penrith. I've got Chow with us. There's a cart there. So we've just parked there. We're going to head up Haunted Hill. We've been here before, last year. I didn't get a video of it. So this time I'm going to do a video and let you see the area where we are. Up this side, Chow. Here, up here. Chow. Wants to wander off. There it is, guys. Old Corpse Road. Come on up here. So we're going to head up here. I'll bring us back, but we'll get so far up to the off a bit. Unbelievable view, isn't it? The water's right down, as you can see. That little island wasn't sure last time I was here. So, heading up this way. I'll let Chow off his leader before long, just to make sure there's no sheep when they're about. So I'll bring us back when we get further up.
Kev explains that he had visited this place before but hadn't captured it on film. This time, he intends to document everything. He walks through the rugged terrain, showing breathtaking views of the lake below, its waterline unusually low, revealing small islands once submerged. Kev describes the history of the region. Years ago, a devastating flood swept through the valley, drowning the old village of Mardale beneath the reservoir. The Old Corpse Road, he adds, was once used to transport bodies by horseback to nearby towns for burial, a grim ritual etched into the land's memory. Locals have long claimed that those who camp here still hear footsteps at night, and even the sound of horses galloping across the hills.
Many moons ago, there was a flood, I think from Manchester, in the reservoir, and Mardale was a village, and the water swooped down, wiped out the village, and killed a lot of residents, which is horrible. And this hill that me and Chows came up today is called Old Corpse Road. So what they used to do was, they used to get the bodies on ponies and they would carry them on horseback up this hill to the next town, which is a few miles away. I think it was Shap or something like that. I think that's what it was called anyway. And they would carry them up here one at a time on the back of a horse and take them to the dead bodies to the other city to get buried. And then there's rumours being told that over the years people have been coming here camping and they've heard people walking about, they've heard horses running around the field where they are, up the hill. They've looked outside and there's been nobody about. So, like I say, last time I was here, me and Chow, he was flat out. And I'm lying in my bivvy watching a film on my phone. And it just sounded like somebody was walking around outside my tent in the long grass, scuffling in the long grass, walking around. I went out, had a look. Nobody there.
Kev recalls one such night himself, lying in his bivvy, hearing faint movements outside his tent, the sound of someone walking slowly through the long grass. When he stepped out to check, no one was there. As the night deepens, the wind grows stronger. Then, a sound cuts through it, deliberate, rhythmic, close. Kev wakes instantly, whispering into the camera, unsure if what he's hearing is real or imagined.
Sounds like something's outside, walking about. I know it's windy, but what's that? didn't know if you could hear it or not. Right guys, I'm going to turn this light off. Fuck. I'm going to try and get some sleep. I know it's windy, but I just sound like those footsteps outside as well. Can't hear it now, like, but knowing you feel like people walking around in long grass, makes it a rustling sound. That's what it was like.
It isn't the tent flapping or the tarp rustling. It's footsteps, slow, heavy, human. He turns off his headlamp and listens, breath held, as the noise continues just outside. Hours later, with dawn breaking, Kev begins to pack. He tries to rationalize what happened, but admits the sounds were too precise, too human, to be explained by wind or wildlife.
Right guys, we're all getting packed up. It's a bit nippy, windy. Make sure we're gonna go now. It's all like sick. Well, not sick, but like it's a bit nippy. So I'm gonna get the tent down. All the stuff's put in the bag. I get this tent down. And we'll be getting out of Dodge City. I'll bring it back when we're all packed up to the off a bit. Right guys, we're all packed up. We're heading back down now. It's getting very cold now. As you can see, that's where I camped. Leaving no rubbish. Charles got his coat on because it's bloody cold. So we're going to head back down now. Bring it back. Yeah. Get it. Ciao. This way, come on. Got his hood on. Right, come on.
As he and Chow descend the hill, the tension lingers. He laughs nervously on camera, but the unease is clear in his voice. The encounter could have been caused by shifting wind patterns or wildlife moving through the grass. Yet the timing and the sound's deliberate rhythm suggests something else. Could the old Corpse Roads legend still echo through the land, carried by those who never left? Was Kev really alone on that hill, or did he share the night with something older, something tied to the valley's buried past? Sometimes, what we dismiss as folklore is simply history refusing to rest. On June 26, 2025, a video uploaded to the channel Uncle Reggie begins with the host setting up his small tent after a grueling, unplanned hike that left him overloaded and exhausted. He kicks off his boots, ready to rest, and speaks candidly to the camera. This is his first solo camping trip away from home. Though he tries to sound confident, there's an edge of unease in his voice. Being miles deep in the woods, completely alone, carries a very different kind of silence, one that presses in from all sides. Reggie admits that YouTube videos don't prepare you for the real sounds of the wilderness, the strange, unidentifiable noises that creep in once the sun sets. As night falls, he keeps his firearm tucked under his legs, within reach, a small comfort against the vast emptiness beyond the tent walls.
Did you hear that? Never heard that before. But one thing I do know is animals don't like fire. So that is why I made sure I had a fire. It's definitely getting closer. All I know, if something happens, it's gonna happen on camera. That's for sure. And it's so dark in the woods that when you look up in the sky, it looks like it's actually could be earlier than what it is. But it's actually 10 o'clock. Whatever it is, it's getting closer. But we shall see.
Then it happens. A noise, faint but unmistakable, breaks the stillness. He freezes. "Did you hear that?" he whispers. He's never heard anything like it before. The sound repeats. Closer this time, deliberate in rhythm. He reminds himself of one thing. Animals don't like fire. That's why he made sure the flames stay alive. The tension grows. The forest, once peaceful, now feels alive, as if watching. Reggie's breathing quickens. His voice trembles as he mutters, "All I know is if something happens, it's going to happen on camera." The noise edges nearer, each pause between sounds heavier than the last. He finally decides to retreat inside his tent, whispering that the fear has taken over. Whatever it is, it's getting closer. But I'm about to get in here and lay down.
A little info about the camping. Of course, I overdone it with some things. I'm starting to observe that what's changing is I'm getting rid of this sleeping bag, and yeah, I'm gonna do it a little different, but I really did enjoy it. Whenever I finally calmed down, I had to call somebody to make me feel better. Hearing these noises, they do play a trick on your mind, so be prepared for that. Make sure you're not somewhere too far where you don't got absolutely no signal, and especially for your first time. But yeah, I did plan on showing y'all everything I had. I don't think that's gonna actually happen, because really this is the bulk of my items. About to finish cleaning up, get myself together, find a way to pack a little better this time, so the walk up out of here won't be so excruciating. But enough talking.
By morning, sunlight filters through the trees. Reggie looks visibly drained but relieved. He admits he didn't sleep much. To cope with the anxiety, he stayed on the phone with someone the entire night, just to feel less alone, just in case something happened. The rest of his video turns reflective. He laughs nervously, acknowledging how he overpacked, but also how unprepared he was for the psychological side of solo camping. The isolation, he explains, can play tricks on your mind, the kind that no survival gear can protect you from. It's likely that the sounds Reggie heard were from nearby wildlife, perhaps deer or small animals moving through dry brush. Yet, the psychological weight of solitude in the dark can distort perception, turning every noise into a threat. Still, the deliberate rhythm of the sounds he described leaves room for doubt. Was it just the forest testing his nerves? Or something else drawn to the only flicker of firelight for miles? Out here, it's not always what you see that terrifies you most. It's what you can't. The video uploaded to the channel The Haggett Project begins with Jake setting up for a wild camp near Mount Rainier in Washington State, USA. His goal is simple, to test a brand new sleep system in real conditions. But the environment around Mount Rainier quickly proves unforgiving. Strong winds sweep up from the valley, and thick fog rolls in, swallowing the landscape in gray.
It's rather windy here because we're out in the open, and most of the wind is coming up from the valley. You get a few gusts here and there, but I think we're gonna be all right. If not, I've got a backup plan I'll show you here in a second. Backup plan if it gets too windy, this little side road here. It's nice and flat, and the wind doesn't quite reach there because there's a little shelf of these trees.
After hours of driving and 2 more hours spent assembling the complicated setup, exhaustion begins to take its toll. He laughs weakly, admitting the gear took far longer to assemble than expected. The air smells fresh and sharp, laced with Douglas fir. His clothes are damp with dew, and everything at this altitude seems to hold moisture. By nightfall, he finally crawls into his sleeping bag, skipping dinner entirely. He sets up a small time-lapse camera to capture the stars before shutting off his light. The camp glows faintly against the mountain backdrop, peaceful, yet isolated.
It's a little strange. It's not perfect. It's massive though. Look at the size comparison to the vehicle there. It's Mount Butte up there, surrounded in clouds.
It's officially dark, so I'm gonna continue to get some lights set up. So pretty hungry. I ended up taking like 2 hours to get this, whatever you call it, set up, which, you know, being the first time, that's to be expected, I guess. There's just this really nice smell in the air around here. I guess it's the Douglas firs. Oh my goodness. This chair is soaked. Everything when you're high up gets soaked with all the dew. So as you saw from earlier, this is the whole dome thing. But inside, since this doesn't have a floor or keep the bugs out, I've set up what they call a tandem tent. Strung the top of it to the tarp poles that hold this thing up, and then staked out the bottom. I got my sleeping pad in there and the sleeping bag and pretty much ready to rock. And there's my little night light. There's the full effect. Not gonna lie, I am exhausted. Spot I was tempting to go to. I had never been there before and couldn't even drive to the end of it. Basically, a lot of driving, so I'm contemplating whether I should start cooking dinner or just bag it. So I'm leaning towards that. The stars are out. I'll use this camera and I'll set it up to do some time lapse. Probably go to bed, wake up early, and do some cooking tomorrow.
A few hours later, Jake wakes to the distant hoots of owls. But something else is wrong.
There's a couple owls that have been around this area. Pretty cool to listen to. And I'm glad I woke up when I did because my phone died again. And so I'm using this as a backup. And I'm able to charge my phone camera battery.
His phone battery has died again, and the camera battery isn't far behind. He scrambles to connect a backup charger in the dim light, muttering about how quickly everything drained in the cold. Then comes the real problem: condensation. Because his inner tent is only a mesh bug screen, the droplets from the tarp above are seeping through and falling onto his sleeping bag. The protective dome system he was testing has failed its first trial. Through the night, water keeps dripping from above. His voice grows tired and resigned as he describes the situation. The wind won't stop, everything's soaked, and rest is impossible. By dawn, the temperature drops further, and cooking becomes impossible in the gusts. He decides to abort the test and pack up early, visibly worn out but relieved to be heading back down. The failure was likely caused by the steep temperature drop and high humidity near Mount Rainier, leading to condensation buildup inside the shelter. The experimental setup, without a proper floor or insulation, couldn't handle the moisture load. But even more revealing was how fatigue and exposure amplified every small issue, turning a routine test into a survival challenge. The mountain didn't threaten him with wildlife or storms, only with its quiet indifference. How many campers mistake a test of gear for a test of will? Out here, comfort and control can vanish overnight, and nature always decides when the experiment ends. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.